What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Gates of Hell. Now, if you're wondering where I've been for the last week, because my last video was about 6 days ago, last Monday, I basically had a wee bit of a mental breakdown with my job. It's been a bit hard lately, you know, with me moving into my new flat and with my new job, it's been really stressful. So I had to take just some time off for myself. If I recorded it, I would have sounded like hell as I did a couple days ago, so I do apologise for not uploading. But the good news is that because I have been away for a wee bit, Gates of Hell have uploaded another developer's blog update 150. And if you haven't checked out the last developers update, which was the last video 149, then make sure you go check that out in the top right hand of the screen right now, or in a link down below, which talked about the Airborne DLC and also about the upcoming missions that are going to be coming to Gates of Hell, you know, through the Airborne DLC, which is in this video here, which is in this article. So make sure you check out 149 first and then come here to get the full understanding of it. So this is the Battle of Nijmegen. Now, I've tried to pronounce it multiple times, but I'm just absolutely butchering it. It does sound a lot more Asian than it does sound more kind of European, but I think I don't know, maybe it's French, maybe it's German, I'm not actually quite sure what it is, but for some reason in my mind it just sounds more Asian in that name, but I'm not being, you know, it's just the way it sounds in my head. Anyway, it was uploaded on the Saturday 14th September, so only 2 days ago, and it's going to be talking about especially Operation Market Garden, which is the main kind of story campaign here, including of course the 82nd Airborne Division, as well as the other division, I can't remember, was it 101st Airborne, as well as the slight hint at the new faction coming to Gates of Hell. Yes, that's right, Gates of Hell has officially announced the next faction coming to the game, so make sure you stay tuned for that in this video. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So it says, community members in this blog will continue a tradition that has existed since before release at Call to Arms Gates of Hell. This tradition is that we introduce you to a mission from the upcoming single-player SP single-player campaign in detail while briefly diving into history. Are you interested in history? Keep reading. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Operation Market Garden. Now, I hope my face does not cover it up slightly, but if it does, then I do apologise. So Operation Market Garden, 17th, by the way, before we start that, this article does kind of give a hint on how you're kind of meant to approach these type of missions. So Gatesville talks about the history of it, but also kind of, you know, gives you a hint saying this is how you're meant to play the mission and this is how it's meant to go. So definitely kind of read this over and kind of follow their kind of hints at how you're kind of meant to approach these missions. So it says, on the 17th of September 1944, Operation Market Garden, the largest airborne operation the world has ever seen to this day, takes place. The strategic idea behind this operation is to cross several rivers, including the Rhine River. With the Allies crossing the last natural barrier in this section of the front line, the Germans would have been faced with the possibility of being an Allied offensive straight into the heart of Germany. So it is kind of giving us a hint here that we are actually now going into the heart of Germany, because all of the kind of campaigns we've played so far have always been like in France, or actually all of the campaign has been like in France. So it's good to see we're now actually seeing a different kind of country being pulled into it. For this purpose, the 1st Allied Airborne Army must seize at least 9 bridges. So that's kind of our objective, is to seize at least, or sorry, that's the 1st Allied Airborne must seize 9 bridges. These bridges must be held until the British, there you go, can I give you a wee clue there, XXX Corps arrive to take over. Its commander, Brian Horrocks, has orders to cover over 100 kilometers or over 60 miles in 48 hours. The plan is ambitious and everyone knows it. At Nijmegen, I know I will get that wrong multiple times, the 82nd Airborne Division is tasked to take several bridges The fighting in this region will become known as the Battle of Nijmegen, and as you can see, this is a picture of when the Nijmegen was bombed in February 1944. So I'll zoom out a wee bit. So as you can see, that this is what an actual picture, you know, looks like of when Nijmegen was bombed during, you know, 1944. So that's really cool to see that they're adding some historic pictures to give us an idea of what we could see in Gates of Hell, and we're hoping that Gates of Hell kind of does do a replica kind of version of this, which I'm sure they definitely will do in the game. So if you don't know about the Battle of Nijmegen, it kind of talks about it here, you know, along Operation Market Garden. But if you want to find out more information, you can just click this button here and it'll take you to a Wikipedia website which will tell you all about the 82nd Airborne, Operation Market Garden and the Battle of Nijmegen. But I'm not going to go through this, I'm just here to talk about the article. The crossing of the Wal River, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right as well, Wal, W-A, Wal River. Of the 9 bridges, the bridge of Nijmegen is the biggest. It spans the Wal River and has a total length of over 600 meters and elevated ramps on either side. In other words, it's enormous. Yeah, this Wal River seems enormous. I don't know exactly where the Wal River is. If somebody can let me know down below where it is, that'd be absolutely great. I think it's in Germany, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, comment down below about that. The 82nd Airborne, Division is us, is to take the bridge and 4 smaller bridges south of Nijmegen. Just frickin' put an autocorrect thing over it. The 82nd's drop zone are around Groes, Beek and Grave. I hate how... I think Gates of Hell are torturing me with pronouncing hard words. I'm Scottish, so my accent is freaking horrible, and I'm dyslexic as well, so this is absolutely horrible. Gates of Hell, why are you making me suffer? Why? Why are you making me suffer with being dyslexic? And also, as you see, this is a picture of a Flak 88 in Valkhof Park, Nijmegen, near the southern bridge ramp. So you can, this was an actual 88 during it, and it looks actually massive. Look at the barrel of that thing. I know 88s are actually huge, and you can actually see them in the game in Gates of Hell, but when you look at it in just like a picture here, it does actually look a lot bigger than, you know, than in the game or real life. It just seems absolutely, it looks partially damaged. You know, you can see the barrel does look slightly damaged and looks like the wheels kind of come off slightly, but this is actually a really cool photo to see. And I think you could possibly maybe see one at a museum. I can't remember which one though. So the idea is first to capture the 4 smaller bridges and an elevated bridge in the area, followed by a move on the Nijmegen bridge. To reach the bridge, part of the 82nd moves through Nijmegen. However, the Allied bomb... why are you making me pronounce Nijmegen so much? And the city was heavily damaged, so the 82nd could not move freely. The ruined city is not the only obstacle to overcome. The Germans are also here. After a few days of heavy fighting, the decision was taken to cross the canvas boat after a very costly crossing. The Germans at the north were finally overcome and the bridge was taken. So you can see this was like after the battle. You can see that there's a bridge there. This is a massive bridge there, and you can see this is I think the 82nd Airborne or some civilians, you know, you see that they've now captured the bridge. You can see there's like a wrecked up bus, looks like a public bus or something like that at the time. It looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it's sad, but it's amazing to see how they've managed to capture pictures like this. It's still quite an unbelievable thing. And see, if they had like a museum specifically about Operation Market Garden, I would go see it, or about like the whole operation by the 82nd Airborne. I would honestly be an amazing experience to see. So, but knowing that they can manage to get pictures like these, which I presume are quite maybe hard to find, is absolutely amazing. I know it is a wee bit pixelated, but this is obviously the best one they could get. So it just looks, you can see like even the ground looks absolutely just dirty with, you know, bullet holes, and you see the bus is like full of bullet holes and shells and everything. The glass is broken. It's absolutely amazing to see what kind of happened here, but sad at the same time. So now we've kind of talked a wee bit about the history of what happened in Operation Market Garden. now let's go on to talk about the mission in Gatesfell. So what's actually going to be in the mission? So in this mission, the 7th mission in the storyline, which plays out on the 20th of September 1944, it's been a few days since the bridges to the south were taken or blown up by the Germans. So in this case, I'm thinking it's that, you know, once the, you know, it's saying, you know, the 7th mission in the storyline, which I think might be added onto the American faction. I don't think this will be a different section. So it sounds like it could be a part of the American campaign, but I'm not sure, or single player campaign, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You're with the 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment on this occasion. Earlier, so you can see that there's actually, sorry I keep interrupting myself with different senses, but you can see that this is possibly a new regiment as well, new unit, you know, the 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment. I don't think it's in the game. We've also got the 508th PIR as well. I don't know, or Parachute Infantry Regiment. So it looks like that we've got the 508th and the 504th possibly being added into the game as well, which is really cool. Earlier, you and the 508th PIR entered the city, moving through Nijmegen to get to the bridge. The ruined city is a very challenging setting, and the Germans will not give up the bridge like that. Wouldn't it have been better to just go around the city, you know, on the east side? Well, it's too late for that now. You have orders to clear out the Germans, but they're everywhere, and the streets are littered with the rubble of the bombed city, which doesn't help. Approaching the bridge, you'll be in awe of the size. It's the largest map asset ever in the Gem Engine franchise, and you'll find out that it's well defended simply crossing a bridge to the other bank, which would be pretty risky. So you can see here that this is a picture of, you know, in the game in Gates of Hell. So this is now not historically, this is actually what the bridge looks like, and it already actually looks massive. Gates of Hell have done already an impeccable job of replicating this. It looks absolutely amazing. I mean, this is only part of the bridge, but you can see that the bridge goes further along with kind of the beams kind of sitting up there. This absolutely looks amazing. You can see that there's possibly German lightly armoured cars there with infantry in it as well, kind of defending the bridge. So, and you can see that it just looks absolutely incredible. And I feel like this would be a very high, you know, as they said, it is, you know, it's the largest map asset ever to do in the Gem Engine. So I can tell this will probably lag your games quite a lot. So if you maybe do have a lower PC spec, you know, while playing this game, lower the graphic settings to maybe medium or low. I know it will, you know, maybe you won't get a good look at the bridge, but it's better to have that good performance. And if you do want to, you know, really put it on high res or very high, then it'll give you a good look at the bridge, but your performance will actually just be shit, because when you're crossing the bridge, you're going to be fighting the Germans, and it's just going to be a massive battle. So I would recommend for everyone who is on that lower spec of PC just to lower the graphic settings, as it will help make the performance better. So the solution is to cross the Wal River somewhere upstream by boat. In doing so, you'll be able to flank the enemy. You'll receive a British convoy delivering some canvas contraptions called the Goatley boat, which can carry up to 10 soldiers at a time. So I believe, I quickly looked this up, I think the Goatley boat is, well, it's a British boat. It's like these little, tiny little boats that you can do that can just, I'll basically show you a picture here actually. You can see that, I don't know if my face is covering it, but this is called the Goatley boat here. So the Goatley boat was a collapsible boat built for military use. The boat had a wooden bottom and canvas sides. Would carry 10 men and weighed about 150 kilograms or 330 pounds. Assembly time was estimated at 2 minutes with 2 men. The boat was designed by a named after Fred Goatley of Saunders Row and used in a number of commando and other operations by the British forces during World War II. So you can see this is kind of like a picture here of it, but when we go back to the article, I'll tell you a wee bit more about what it says. The crossing will occur somewhere west of the bridge. To everyone's horror, there are no paddles or oars. These were not included in the delivery, and the men had to use their rifle butts to row across. So think of like the American using like their M1 Grand or whatever gun they used at the time. They had to use like the other end of their gun to row the boat, which is actually amazing. And knowing how British we are, we obviously like to see the Americans suffer, you know, crossing the bridge. So yeah, I think even though we're allies, there's probably a wee bit of hate in there as well, where the British just thought, nah, just fuck these guys, just the Americans can just row for themselves, they can use their guns. So yeah, I don't know what maybe the British were thinking, but obviously they still want to see the Americans suffer just like we do today. I'm sorry, America, but you know, even though I'm British/Scottish, I still want to see you suffer sometimes, even though we're allies with you. I know, anyway, that's another topic. And this is the most exciting bit here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're thinking that the British convoy might be a hint at our next faction, you are right. We can confirm the British Commonwealth as the next faction, and the first DLC for it will feature British and Commonwealth content from the Western Front. That is absolutely amazing. A lot of you guys said that, you know, before this, you know, what the next faction could be. A lot of you did say British, and I think there was a few shouted at saying Japan or Polish or even I think Italy, but now we have a confirmation, Gatesville, saying that the British Commonwealth are coming out for the next DLC faction. That is absolutely amazing to hear. And Gatesville, if you need some, you know, a Scottish voice actor, you know, if you're bringing Scottish, you know, units into Commonwealth, you know, I'm available. You know, I would love to get the opportunity to maybe voice something of the British, even though I'm young and the men who fought were all older possibly at the time. So a young Scottish man trying to voice like older British men during war just doesn't actually make sense. But, you know, it would be cool to give a, you know, a wee shout out, you know, for that. You know, if you are doing some Scottish voice actors, you know, that would be amazing. So yeah, a wee hint there, but I'm actually very excited to see this news. I think this will probably come out at the end of the year. I don't think we'll see this faction come out anytime soon. I think with them concentrating on the Airborne unit just now, which even hasn't been released yet, which will come out I think maybe end of this month, maybe next month. I think there's a lot of work to do in the British and the campaigns, so I think this probably won't come out till like Christmas time, near possibly next year even, depending how the progress goes with this, you know, DLC and how they're progressing throughout the game as well, because it might add in a few, you know, small updates throughout the Airborne DLC and the British DLC. So I'm very just excited to let everybody know that the next faction to Gates of Hell will be the British, the Commonwealth. So again, thank you Gatesville for letting us know. And for those who were right about the Commonwealth, you know, British coming in, well done. I had a suspicious feeling as well, the amount of time they've kind of mentioned it through this, through the many of articles of the Airborne DLC mentioning British help or Allied help. So I'm very excited to see how they work, and I'm especially very excited to see, you know, like the British vehicles, the British tanks, you know, the Churchill, the Cromwell, you know, I'm expecting maybe even a Black Prince, but I don't think that actually went. I think those were blueprint tanks. The Black Prince, I don't think it actually never made it into production line. Even I'm trying to think of even the Firefly, which was kind of like a Sherman knockoff. Although again, most of these tanks, the only ones I do know went into production, I think, was the Cromwell, I think, and the Churchill, definitely the Churchill, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that is really cool to see, and also knowing that we have a Churchill 3 in the game already from, you know, the Soviets have, so I'm hoping maybe Gates were able to replicate that and just make it British and give it a, I think, is it a 17 pounder? I think the Churchill have, but I'm not 100% sure. Cool, and you can see that some nice photos along here. So it says, when you arrive on the other riverbank, there's still plenty to do. It's far from over. You must do whatever you must make do with whatever number of men you have left. You must work your way to the north ramp of the bridge, eliminate the German flank cover, drive them all away from the bridge, and secure the area. What could possibly go wrong? It sounds easy, especially when you're on Fog of War and Hardcore. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you will see that when you get there. Just make sure you give it absolutely everything, of course. And you can see this is kind of like the ruin. Actually, this is very cool. So this is the ruined city of of that city that I can't pronounce, or the name I can't pronounce. So this is it here, and then when you look up here, you can see this is a historic photo here, and then you look further down, and then this is it here. So it's quite a good, accurate depiction of what it was. If anybody maybe disagrees or think, you know, they've done it wrong, then let me know, but I think they've done a fantastic job here. This thing here called epilogue, I know it's probably French or German. You see, kids who ask me to pronounce German or French freaking names. You honestly are killing me with this. I don't know what epilogue is. If someone could let me know, that'd be great. That's a real story on the Gates of Hell version. Oh, I went too far in. That's a real story and the Gates of Hell version of Nijmegen battle side by side. A tale of heroism, unbelievable sacrifice, and perseverance. God damn it. I can't even speak English, never mind freaking French or German. Even though Operation Market Garden essentially failed, the 82nd Airborne made itself immortal in the process, at least in the eyes of the Dutch population. The 82nd crossing of the Waal is commemorated by a monument erected at the location of the crossing. This is one of the many monuments in the region that commemorates Market Garden. Do you think you can recreate the battle victoriously as well? Absolutely yes, but in a good way, absolutely not. I think I'll probably mess it up about 5 times, but who knows. If you want to know the answer to this question, you should really wishlist Airborne. Yep, as you can see here, there's still no confirmed date of when it's coming out. I'm hoping, again, I do think it'll probably come out end of this month, maybe next month. I mean, we are already on the 16th of September as of this recording, so I think it'll probably come out. And then lastly, did you know the British called Highway 69, or the British called Highway 69 the club route, but the US name Hell's Highway stuck. The Germans blew up at Sun, was repaired with wooden beams the local residents provided, which was cool. And then the 2nd Battalion of the 506 PIR was just 50 meters, 150 feet away from the bridge when it was blown up. That is very scary. Can you imagine 150 feet away and that blowing up in your face? Wow. That's it for now. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the battlefield. So there you go, guys. That is Development Diary 150 on the Battle of Nijmegen, or Operation Market Garden. What do you think about this? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. And are you excited for the new British faction to come out sometime, maybe this year or early next year? And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out, you know, the article before this, 149, then make sure you click left here. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.